I'm just talking to the defensive player of the year. How does that name sound? How does that nickname and moniker sound to you? Patrick, you used to it?
Yeah, it sounds great. It's sort of clicking well right now, so I'm getting used to it for sure.
Yeah, I imagine it's one of those things that might even take getting used to. But you've been around the game your entire life. What is your first football memory, Patrick?
My first like vividly football memory,
Yes.
I remember scoring my first touchdown playing youth football as a tight end with my hand in the dirt. I caught the ball up the seam and scored. So that was like my first vivid football memory.
What? How old were you? How old were you?
I was about like 7 years old, I believe.
Okay.
7 years old. Yeah. First time playing like organizational tackle football. So
Okay. Was your dad out of football by that point in time, or you
now
were?
he was still playing. He was with the Chiefs at the time, and we was out in Kansas City, and yeah, and I just remember scoring and my pops being there, moms on the sideline as well too. So that's my most vivid memory that I could think of early on in my football.
What about being around Arrowhead? Any memories of that?
Arrowhead, yeah. I remember going on the field before the game for the coin toss. Me and my pops and a few other players, that was a pretty cool experience, honestly, just to capture in that moment and be around the lineage of the NFL. I think that was an experience I would cherish for a lifetime. So, being able to experience that early on is sort of like helped me and motivated me to get to that stage early on. Especially at a time where I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. You know what I mean? I was playing basketball, playing soccer here and there, and playing football. So, but experiencing that, I think it was pretty surreal.
Who were his teammates then? Do you remember any of those guys when you were around the
Yeah,
team?
Trent Green, Ty Law, let me
Man,
see who else. Jared Allen. It's a long list of guys that he played with that I remember. So, Tamba Hali,
okay.
Dwayne Bowe, so those like back in the days before Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce, what they got going on. So,
Sure. '06 or '07, and that was, and just to, I guess, date myself here, '06 was the first year NFL Network started covering Thursday Night Football, and our first game was at Thanksgiving night against Denver, the Chiefs in
yeah,
Denver, with Trent Green starting at quarterback in 2006 on Thanksgiving night. Maybe you were in the
I
stands
think
that night.
I probably was in the stands.
Isn't that crazy?
Hey, we might have to recover that. I might have to y'all might have gone to archives and find it.
It's such a small world, and now it's your job to make Arrowhead as quiet as possible, is it not,
Yeah,
Patrick?
yeah, yeah. You mentioned that like it's a small world. I just being in the stands in Arrowhead and now playing against them. It's honestly a crazy feeling. It gives me deja vu for sure.
I bet. Patrick Surtain II, the defensive player of the year from the Denver Broncos, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. When did you first realize in the NFL that you were going to be fine, everything was going to be good, and as a matter of fact, you could be dominant at your position in the NFL? When did that first happen for you?
I think for me, like going toe to toe with the best in the game, like my rookie year, when I first got my start, like third game of the season, um, I got my first interception against the Jaguars. I was like, yeah, I belong here. Then early on in my career, it's going up against Devontae Adams, who's one of the best in the game, going toe to toe with him and just establishing my mark against the best in the game, against the DK Metcalfs, um, the Terry McLaurins, guys like that across the league and guys around my division early on, like Keenan Allen as well too, and making my presence felt. I just think that that's where it started at, knowing that I could compete at a high level, going on the island against some of the top players in the game, the top athletes in the game, and that sort of made me, be a better player as well too with experience. So.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.